right? So we'll start in 5 more minutes. We'll wait 5 minutes. Sharply we'll start 7:05. So without disturbance. Once again, good evening all. Today we will discuss about this getting started with VSTS. My name is Shanta Kawan. I am from Chennai. I am Chief Corner MEP as well as chapter lead. So my blog is sand2debug.net. So before going to our agenda is, so just I want to say about C# Corner community. C# Corner community is a great platform for programmers, students, and IT professionals. So the committee is filling the gap for the student and IT professional. Committee is doing the great job for giving such a wonderful platform to learning the peoples and sharing the knowledge to peoples. This is my about myself. I'm the senior technical lead in point and solution in Chennai. I'm two-time C# Corner MVP as well as chapter lead. I'm Microsoft Technical Group. I'm doing my free time, so blogs, sand2debug.net. So today agenda is introduction to VSTS. What is VSTS? What is difference between VSTS and TFS? And describe VSTS features and demonstration on VSTS. So what is VSTS? So before that, just I'm telling about this VSTS overviews. VSTS is a platform. It's taking care of all aspects of the software development process. It's like there's planning to maintenance. Example, you can take the planning and analyze requirement, design, development, testing, and UAT, deployment, and maintenance. All aspects of each and every space in the software development life cycle that take care of all the aspects of process, and everything will be taken in this VSTS. So also the VSTS is tightly integrated with Visual Studio. So VSTS, it's available lot of the tools in between this source code control, bug tracking, project management, and team collaborations. Also, it's free for up to 5 users. We can use a small number of team or a small organization. We can use the VSTS up to 5 users in a single projects. So also VSTS is we can create n number of private repositories. So VSTS we can allow us users create n number of private repository to store our code in the versioning control. But these features, it's not available any other online versioning control. Example, GitHub, we can create only one private repository but we can create unlimited online repository. But VSTS is allowing them to create more private repository. So what is VSTS? VSTS is an ALM system. So what is ALM? So ALM is nothing, application lifecycle management. So you know this same kind of ALM system available some other vendors like HP and IBM. So VSTS how differ with other vendors? Actually, the VSTS it's a cloud-based, so offering the Microsoft cloud-based solutions, not only the application lifecycle management, even we can integrate any third-party tools into use our development software development more efficiently. We can call them VSTS as a productivity improvement tools. Actually, it's providing integrated and collaborative environment that supports continuous integration as well as agile. The main three main key areas are designed for VSTS. So one is source control, that means the Git. So we will later on discuss with Git more details. So Git source control to manage versioning of the source code files, tracking tools, support planning and tracking work and code defects, issues and more. DevOps is VSTS enabling the DevOps tools to support the building, continuous testing, continuous release. We can do a lot of the stuffs in the software development lifecycle doing the continuous integrations. So difference between the VSTS and TFS. VSTS generally is cloud-based solutions. TFS is on-premise solutions. So what is on-premise and clouds? So on-premise we can use within our premises. So we can buy the software, we can make server, then we can use server TFS within our organizations, more secure, as well as we can have the code in our private networks. But VSTS is providing the globally we can use anywhere, anytime, any place. So this is the cloud offering the VSTS is so more secure one for organizations standpoint, as well as in individual users or students we can use for VSTS. It's a difference for the individual users and organizations. We can discuss with later on this next slide. Next one is the VSTS. We can support Git version control as well as Team Foundation version control. But most of the people like to use Git version control. Why? Because the Git version control is distributed version control system. That means distributed version control system is collaboratively connected to the other teams. Example, one place, one small team sitting there, another place, some other teams with working with part of A model and B model. So we can collaboratively sync with every code changes and adding new files and everything. We can sync with the other place the peoples. And TFS only support Team Foundation versioning control. This basically it's a centralized version control system. It means one centralized version control servers available. Example, take computer A and B. So computer A, somebody is committing any changes and version control source code files. That will be reflect to servers. Then other guy simultaneously take the updated source code to the version from the version control servers. But this is only we can see the within network in our premises itself. We can replicate the team members. We can see the modified code changes or updated files. But it's not support the outside of network or outside of organization. For that, the reason the people are using the Git version control. And other thing is VSTS will not support third-party integration like SharePoint and SRS reporting servers. These things will not support. But in TFS, we can integrate the SharePoint in the reporting standpoint. We can integrate the reporting servers, SQL Server reporting service. We can integrate with the reporting standpoint. And VSTS, we can use authenticate Microsoft account through Microsoft account as well as Azure Active Directory. So, which users we can use Microsoft account means as an individual, as a student, we can authenticate through our own Microsoft account to accessing VSTS. For organization standpoint, we can use to Azure Active Directory via to access the VSTS. Why? Because it's the more securely we can restrict to other users to access, allowing uh, denying the access for the source code. So if you are using Azure Active Directory, you can restrict the users to within Active Directory. Users can access, authenticate the repository. But TFS, we can use only Windows authentication as well as Active Directory in the Windows Active Directory. So these are difference. We found that these are differences, very minor difference, but both product is similar. Both products vendors is Microsoft vendor, but the thing is VSTS we can call the next generation of uh, Team Foundation server. VSTS is giving solution cloud based, and TFS giving solution for desktop based. So next one is the describe VSTS features. VSTS is a powerful productivity tool for improving software development process. Yes, of course, it's a productivity. The purpose is improving productivity. So through the VSTS, so they have a lot of stuffs in the VSTS. The first one is we list down the some of features in the VSTS: Git versioning control, TFS version control, agile tools, and continuous integration, tools for Java and reporting, release management and package management, enabling DevOps and testing tools, cloud-based load testing, and more stuffs. So the Git abilities are for using Git. We can uh, integrate with any platform. We can use Git in the Windows. We can use Git for Linux and Mac. Anything, any platform we can use Git. And Git is the distributed version control system. We can share this our code to in other place people. We can simultaneously with sync with our data to other team members. So Git basically why we are going for more popular means the Git basically it's open source. And TF's Team Foundation version control is it's supported VSTS, but it's not familiar to using the people's or TF version control in the VSTS. In Agile tools, here is mainly for Agile tools the project management standpoint. Agile tools like we are using for Scrum, Kanban, and Agile. For these purpose, to tracking the project management standpoint, we can use Agile tools. Example, if you are following your organization Scrum, you can use VSTS. If you are creating, maintaining all the documents, example, preparing backlogs and preparing sprint backlogs and sprint execution, retrospective, and sprint meet. Those things we can track when with VSTS. We can sit in the online anywhere place. We can monitor our teams effectively, and as well as we can use Kanban board to track the complete workflow, mapping the work item of each sprint, and as well as we can restrict our team to work items within limitation. We can set the work progress item. We can set limitation. So as a one team member, we can use at a time only one task for work progress. So for that stuff we can use Kanban board, and as well as we can see like all the stuff of Agile like burn and chart and cumulative reports. Those things we can use for Agile tools. So I can show a demo for agile tools. Maybe you can understand better. And continuous integration. So it's enabling the DevOps doing the continuous integration for our code to our favorite build tool, using our favorite build tool, using our favorite languages. And tools for Java teams. VSTS will support Java also. Actually, in the VSTS is nothing. It's called. It's not like a IDE VSTS. It's a VSTS is a platform for any language. We can use VSTS. It's not for .NET. It's not for Java. It's not for PHP. We can use any language for VSTS. So in Java, we can use Maven, we can use the favorite IDE, Eclipse, everything we can use here the supported for VSTS. And reporting standpoints, actually the TFS and VSTS both of having the reporting ability, but this both of have lightweight reports, but some complex data we predict display the geographical. For that, TFS is better to using reporting standpoint, because TFS we can integrate with the reporting service, so we can show the reports to through the reporting service. But VSTS we can use inbuilt reporting tools. But other than that, we can integrate Power BI to display our reporting, like project tracking or source code tracking, or any team members. Everything we can track it, even bug tracker, even issues. These things we can track this through reporting standpoint. And release management, it's build for the release management is nothing. It's a build the code to be, we can build and we can test continuous testing. So package management, it's obviously the deployment release. We can uh, give them the continuous deployment or continuous delivery. We can use package management. If you're enabling DevOps, we can do the all the stuffs in the DevOps tools, as well as the support testing tools. Testing, we can do the same testing stuffs, we creating the test cases, test plan, load testing, and we can use Selenium and any kind of third-party tools we can integrate, we can use. And also is available the cloud-based load testing. So cloud-based load testing and some of the more stuffs will be available only the paid version. It's not in free version. So next one is the demonstration on VSTS. So first of all, how to create VSTS account. So I can show the VSTS account, how to create VSTS account. So if you want to create VSTS account, first of all, you need some prerequisites. Example, Microsoft account, or else you should have Outlook account. So once you have Microsoft account, then you go on. You can go to visualstudio.com, click free account. Once you click the free account means they will show the screens. You can enter your email address, then you enter the password. Once the sign in, the first time you can see this screen. For here this, I will show you. So watching the main screen for first time. So here you have to enter your favorite unit name for course name. Then you can select this version control for which version control you want to maintain your code. For Git, you can select Git, or else you want team foundation version control, you have to select team foundation version control. For change details, you want to change default details, you have to click change details. Then you can see these things in the change details. Here you have to enter the project name. Then you can see the organization using here. We have three options: Agile, CMI, and Scrum. And also you can select the data center, cloud data center location. Then you should enter your names and your country, then your email address. Then you have to click to continue. Once the account is created, you can see these screens for first time created accounts. For the here it's you having the public repository of Git. For this Git repository, we have to store this our source code. So once we created this, so this is the main profile page for the any users. So here you can see your profiles and your usage and those things. So here I already created some of the projects. If you want to create new projects, you can click here. So you can see this project name. You can enter any project name. So here I have version control for Git and Team Foundation server. So I am selecting for Git. So here available Agile process, CMI process, Scrum process. These most specifically, most of the organization are nowadays familiar for Agile process. So I'm also selecting for Agile process. So once click the create button, so you can see here your repository URL. So you can also see the project. So here we can see the dashboard, code, work, and build and release and test. So many menus. So now we saw create a new project in VSTS. So next, how to add our existing project source code to Git repository from Visual Studio. Actually, we created new projects. So before going to create sample projects, just we see the dashboard. So this is your profile dashboard. Here you can customize, you can add more widgets for your dashboard. Here we have some of the things, backlog and board, task board and queries. So I'm just going to the inside of the board. Actually, this is for entirely agile tools. Example, this is features and stories. Most of the people, the Scrum Agile following the people know this, the features. You can create user story. Actually, here we have three options: epics and futures and stories. So I enabled only futures and stories. So once you created futures, example you created as a dashboard features. So once we create a dashboard features, you can see here the feature is called dashboard features. So this screen is like storyboard. So you can see here the task. So now I am allocating this task to myself. So I created futures. So for that futures, I want to create stories, user stories. So the backlog is nothing, it's a product backlog. So here the user stories, I'm creating user stories. No, here I can add one more story. So first I created features, then I added user story, then I can able to add task or else bugs. So I just created my first task. So you can set here the priority. You want to run this task to sprint 1. So I select the priority for actually the product backlog based on the task priority. We can set this product backlog to the sprint backlog. So I just selected two priorities. One activity for design. This I can estimate hours. So likewise, we can create more tasks. So this is for iteration 1 is the sprint 1. So in the dashboard, I have one task just assigned. So this tool actually once you finish the task means once you taken this task to active status means so that will be moved here. Once you finish your task means close, you can move this task to close status. So whatever your sprint is available task, each and every task your team member you are allocating, based on that the progress will be we can monitor here. This is for cumulative flows, your scheduling task status. We can also set the velocity of task each every sprint for the velocity of the things. Actually, the work item is available only backlogs and queries. The backlogs will be we can create those kind of stuffs. In query, actually, in each and every user story, we need to discuss with our team for the discussion with sprint purpose that we can discuss with the team. Based on the discussion and clarification, we can raise our queries. So for that purpose, we can use the queries areas. For next to the code, so actually the CMI is it's a framework in organization side. Most of companies to certificate CMI level 3 and 5, and they have to follow the some process areas. Actually, the CMI, the 18 process areas available. So each and every organization they have to meet some process areas to implementation their organization. Then only they get a level of each and every level. They have certain process. Example, level 3 you have to implement 18 process areas. So that kind of stuff will be available for the CMI. For Agile and Scrum actually the Scrum is not it's not a separate. So it's a part of Agile. In Agile process, actually we can for any projects we can plan the piece by piece. We can deliver it piece by piece to customer. Example, you can plan something, you can do something, then you can ship to customer. Example, you can choose one model. First, you have to split out the model for 2 sprints based on your priority. Then the first sprint, you take all the tasks finished. Then you have to deliver to customer. Then go to next one. Then same thing, they have to finish everything. Then deliver to customer. So these more specifically the project management standpoint. So now we move to our source code to. So I'm going to create a sample projects. So I'm using Visual Studio 2017. I'm just creating one sample application. So I just choose MVC. So I also added unit test. So if you are using Git, better about 2013, you can use Visual Studio so that you can add the plugin. Actually, here we can see the Git icon. We can easily move to our code from the Visual Studio to Git repository. So, so while creating itself, we can see the Git, how to integrate our Git to Visual Studio. So actually, you want to any Git version control, you can go to this site. You can download. It support any platform, Windows and Mac and Linux. You can see this these articles. You can see the how to install the Git. Once they successfully install the Git, so you have to open Visual Studio. Go to Tools menu. Then Tools menu, you have options to these options. You can open these options. In that, you can find it source control. You can select plugin selection. Then you can have the version control here. In that version control, we can have the team foundation as well as Git. I will show you that one. So I just go there, tools, options, version source control. In that source control under plugin section, here is available the Visual Studio Team Foundation and Git. Selected Git and OK. Actually, if you are using 2017, you can see here the bottom of the status bar, Visual Studio status bar, add to source control. So I created sample projects as well as with the unit test cases, test project and web applications. I selected both projects. I just click for it. You can see the icon is Git. Then I click the Git icon. Now you can see the Team Explorer window opening. In that window, we can see the two options. One is push to Visual Studio Team Service. Another one is push to remote repository. Actually, this one we already created the repository for the team services, so we can just leave it there. This now we can push our code to remote repository. That means this repository we can moving our sample project to this repository. I just copy the URL. Just click to push Git repo. Then you can see the here our text box. You can just paste your URL. When the publish button enabled, just click to push. I think something's wrong. Okay, 1 second. So once I push the here you can see the successfully push the branch masters to origin. So sometimes it will be some fatal error. Again you have to push to the original repository, remote repository. Once successfully finished, you can see here this your source code. This is web application. This is test application. So you can actually in that code we can see here the file history and branch tag and pull request. Actually the files you can see your project files, all the project files. You can also edit here. We can use our source code edit through online itself. Just click this your file, then click edit. So you can edit. Suppose it doesn't change anything new line, that will not accept to commit. You can see here this commit button is not enabled because there is no change. For that kind of restriction, they are giving to maintaining our source more accurate. So I cancel means, so that will be reversed to previous one. In EST, we can see the each and every commit. Each and every commit we have the some serial number. Then also we can see the message. So now I just added source code to the online repository. Just I'm going there. Once again I add another file for the controller. I just adding one more controller. For now, the symbol is here. You can see the red tick mark. For that, the code we have changed some changes. So for that, we need to commit source control commit. Once you click the commit button, the Team Explorer window will be open. Here, you have to give some message. I mean the commands. Then you commit to all. Once successfully committed, so you have to sync to server online repository. Then click sync. Then you have to push. So successfully push to master repository. Now I have only one branch. The main branch is master. If you want to create more branches, you doesn't want to touch your team member the master source code. For that time, you can create more branches. For your team member will work on the branches. Whenever the branches you are comfortable for find, then you can merge to branch code to master code. So there is no need to touch with directly the master branch. For demo purpose, I am using directly touching the master branch. For the development, you can use create one more branch. So I just push. Now we can see that for controller, I added test controller. So now we can see the history. So for here the command we added the test controller. Okay. So for now code we moved online. Next step is we just go for demo for continuous integration. For next one is the continuous integration. So next we will see the C and CD, continuous integration and continuous delivery demo with sample applications. After you move your code to online repository, I mean VSTS, you can see here the setup with build. So for that button, you have to click, or else you can go there, build and release, you can click build. So once you click build button, you can see here the template, lot of templates. It's not only .NET, you can go for Android or any technologies. Here we have a lot of tools. We can have the Java, we can build the Java for moving. We can build Android for using Android. We can build the Java application even, and so many tools here available. So for my case, I selected for ASP.NET. So I'm selecting for ASP.NET. Just update. Here we have some of the navigation menu in the website. So I just here we have to this is the name default name for the my continuous build. So here we have to select this which host you want to your application to run. I mean the Linux or Windows or something else. So I selected hosted Windows. Then I selected get source. Here we can see the lot of version controls. Not only for VSTS, if you are in your code in GitHub, online GitHub, or if your code in the subversions, any other version control like S3N, SVN, BSS. So you can directly go subversion. You can put your URL, remote URL. Then we can load our subversion code to online. Or else if your code will be available in GitHub, you can go for GitHub. For any remote repository, you can go remote repository. For my case, my code is available in VSTS. I selected this projects in VSTS repository. Then the project name is webinar VSTS demo. I have only one branch, the master branch. So for that, this is for build solution. For the build solution, which version you want to build? So I selected Visual Studio 2017. So now you can save. So this window will be prompt for the confirmation for hosted master. Then I'm putting agent for cloud agent for queue. So now you can see the build has been queue. The build number is. If you select the build number, you can see your build progress. The build is started now. Waiting for available agent. So build is started now. Yes, possible for Windows Forms. For that, I will show you later on the next section, Windows application. For demo purpose, I just choose for a web application. I think for my study for VSTS, it's possible. I will show the possibilities areas. So now you can see the build is succeed. So you can see the build summary. So here we can see the test result. So actually I didn't create any test cases. By default we have 3 test cases. The 3 test cases has passed. So you can also automate your build. Example, if your team member committing any changes, then automatically the build will be start. For that you have to trigger your commit, your development team commit. Once the any developer, it's not only the team, any developer committed that part, the task alone. Actually in Agile, whatever you are finishing your sprint, the sprint task will be executed to complete unit testing, integration testing, and as well as system testing. Same here, we are automated the testing process that will be tested unit testing automated. We can also do load testing. We can see now we finish the deployment, build the integration. Now we can go for the other one. So now I'm going to my Azure account. I will show you. So for that you need to Azure account. So once you logged in Azure account, you have to click new button. For that, I choose the web application. For that, web plus mobile web application. So you have to give the name. So this is subscription. So for if you want to create new resource group, you have to select create new. I'm selecting Windows environment. Just create web apps. So now the progress is deployment progress. In meanwhile, I will show you the existing my application. So this is for automated. As I told, after code is built, committed the team, the build, test, and deployment completely automated for this process. Now successfully deployed the web apps. For web apps, we created webinar demo apps, Azure website.net. So the resource group is webinar demo apps. Now you can find the deployment menu in under deployment menu under deployment continuous delivery. You can see the continuous delivery click. So for this we need to configure. Here we have see the 4 options to configure. First one is source code. So when I select source code, you can see the source code directly which repository you want. So I selected Visual Studio Team Services. My account, the project name is, sorry, this is my host name. Okay, I think I created other accounts. Yeah, I will show you for existing one. Actually, for here, this reason is I created another account for subscription. Is this account is different. So for that only the reason is here not displaying the name. So I just took this existing code. I just updating the existing code. So web application 2. So I adding one more controller. Okay, now we can see this added. Once you click this, you can see which line you added and which things you added. Everything we can easily track. So I'm going for existing one. So I show you the configuration part. So source code repository, you have to select these things. So hello world. Here the branch. Once all the details filled, then you have to select OK button. Next, you have to configure build. Here you can see the which application you want to configure the applications. ASP.NET. So if you want to load test, yes means you have to create new. Then you can see here the name is application name, resource group, plan, and things. Then deployment, same thing. You have to deploy any. Actually, directly you want to deploy production, or you want to deploy staging environment, or you want to deploy the testing environment. For that, we can uh, create here the create new one and just going to staging. This is for deploy to staging purpose. So everything I configure, I click OK button. So once clicked OK button, the configuration deployment continuous delivery is configuring. Right now the configuration is going on. Deployment is started. Meanwhile, we can create build. Actually, now we are configured for the particular branch source code. Once we committed, automatically build will be started. Automatically the test will be started. Automatically it will be start to deploy the staging environment. This process automated through Azure Web Apps. So now you can see the build change. This was 2017. You select the Git, then you save. So now the successfully configuration, continuous delivery deployed. Now we can see successfully set up continuous deliveries, triggered build. So build definition, you can click the build definition, you can see the build process status. Right now it's started. You can see here. Still waiting for agent. Yeah, yes, of course. It's always almost similar TFS, but the advantage is totally uh, uh, s- uh, uh, simple difference is like you can say that TFS only we can use within our network. There is no possibility to use our on-site team to same source code to accessing the TFS. You have to give the public IP. Maybe you have to give the credentials. So many things. Maybe the getting the source code in the team collaborative is totally difficult to access your source code in the other location peoples. If you go for the VSTS, directly we can sync with collaboratively. The team will be work different places and different uh, uh, team members will be synced with source code. Actually, the fetch you can get data from the. Actually, the sync is we can sync to server, or you can sync with the server to local. Fetch you can data. You can fetch the data from the server. Actually, full we can use like no example. If somebody want to commit the code, you have to give the request to them to commit a request to through the pull request, or else you want to once committed you have to give the request to pull request to other users to update. Those things we can use. So once build succeed, so build is over. So now it's waiting for load test queue. Actually, here we have definition, build definition. You have to build and release definition. You have to build. Now it's waiting for load testing. So now you can see the load test in progress. Yes, the main is continuous build and continuous deployment. You can assume you have the two team, example in on-site and outside, or else you can say within your team you have four members. For everybody working in same model or different model, whatever they committed, you have to, if everybody finish means you have to build and then you have to release to uh, unit testing, then you have to release to deployment. For deployment, you can assume the customer standpoint, you have to wait for customer environment box. For example, you have to move staging, you have to wait customer to give the box, then you have to find out fully the first stage, all the software's readiness, then you have to deploy your application customer box. Uh, for this, you have to wait some period. For here, the continuous build and continuous deployment, there is no need to wait more uh, uh, downtime in customer standpoint. We can easily build. You can assume already you give one sample product to customer. It's already it's running in the production. If you customer say you can stop this 1 week, I can give other copy. You can host it, deploy, and you can start it. This is it's, so difficult to customer nowadays not accepting more than 2 days or 3 days. For that, without downtime, we can directly deploy without affecting the customer production. We can directly deploy the staging, then we can once staging we tested, almost we can move to production without downtime. We can easily deploy the customer box through help of the continuous deployment. Then continuous deployment, actually the continuous deployment, the concept is the continuous deployment, continuous build is concept, the enabling debugs. So team is collaboratively releasing the each single product shipping to the customer. Still is waiting progress. So load test is completed. Now the deploy in the production box, staging box. So now the deployment success for staging box. So the production is completed. Deployment is completed for production box. I hope you understand the continuous deployment and continuous build purpose. So how to deploy, how to configure, and how to uh, configuration for continuous delivery. Next is conclusion. So we discussed about VSTS. We discussed VSTS features. For time constraint, we just saw the few of the features in detail with practical exercise. So remaining things we will see later on the session for the next webinar. I hope everyone understand the VSTS stuffs and VSTS benefits. Next, if you have any questions, please let me know. For if you want any updates for future webinars, you can follow the C# in Twitter C# chapters, in Facebook C# Corner, and also we have YouTube channel. In past webinars, recorded webinars available for the YouTube channel. If you want to follow me in Twitter and Facebook, you can see the Shanta Kumara. In Facebook and Twitter also same. In is also is free for use for only limited duration time. If you are the student, you can join this MSP program. You can use mostly a reasonable period of time. You can utilize Azure. Or if you are a .NET guy, you can log in Microsoft account. You can go there in Visual Studio development essential page. You can have the subscription of Visual Studio. You can go Visual Studio Dev Essential. Once you join the Visual Studio Dev Essential, you can see lot of benefit here. For here the Azure credit for $300 per year. You can just activate. You can utilize for the Azure. For that you have to give your credit card, but there is no charge for credit card if you are using your limit as per DB essential given the credit limit. If you are going the behind the credit limit, that will be charged. Suppose I have done changes application later and do that changes. Yes, obviously the version control, whatever you have done changes, if you want to go back the previous code or previous version, for that each and every commit we have some revision number. You can that revision number. If you have any idea of the revision number, you can directly put the revision number. You can get it the previous code. Or else, whatever you give the commit properly, you have to give command. For example, you finished any login screen, I finished login screen. For, for that reference, we can just directly put comments, then we can get the version details, then we can get it the master code. Obviously, all the version control, they have the same features. If you go for Anki SVN, Tortoise SVN, VSS, we can get any version control we can get there from the previous code. Definitely, I will show the Windows form options in Visual Studio. For here, you can see the .NET Desktop. Build and run the test .NET Desktop, Windows based and classic desktop application. You can select here. You can configure. For Windows application, you have to configure same thing. For the desk, then save this thing. It's applicable all the applications. You have to select the right template for which kind of application you have to run. Okay guys, thank you for all. Any more question? So if you want any doubt or any help for, you can contact me in offline. I can help them through my availability. You can also follow us our chapter page. You can like future webinars. You can update through the social media, or else you can subscribe our YouTube channel. Probably you can get notification to see the recorded webinars. Okay guys, thank you all for once again. So I'm closing now.